Hello again, I'm back, and as I promised, I'm going to make more videos. And starting with my new series of videos, which I shall do a bunch of. Also, while I'm at it and while I'm having a bit of a whiff-waff, if there are any videos you'd like me to do, or you'd like to have me have a go at, or whatever, I'm open to suggestions. It was badgering from others that I should come and do something with my voice and stuff, because people thought I was good at it, and I quite enjoy doing it. So it works always. If there's anything you'd like to see me do, just let me know, drop a comment or whatever, and I'll try and do it, obviously. For now, I'm going to do a series of videos which might take, forever. I'm just going to wing it, as I always do. I don't have any editing software, which is why these videos are the way they are, because I can't edit them. They're all one take, like the train one and the rocket one. No editing, which makes for interesting watching, if nothing else. But I will get editing sometime. I'll do it properly, I promise. It's just right now I'm just getting stuck in. Without further ado, talking to getting stuck in. This on the screen is Firestorm. It's a third-party Second Life viewer. Some of you may have heard of Second Life. Some of you may never have heard of it. If you go to secondlife.com, you can read all about it there. It's a virtual world, which these days consists of graphical prims and mesh, which is 3D graphics made in the likes of Blender, and other types of software. But to cut a long story short, this particular viewer is based on the source code of the original Second Life viewer, but it's got a load of customizations in it, improved graphics, improved GUI, and a few extra sweet little features that they don't include in the original. So you'll get to see those. You have to bear with me. There seems to be a thing going around at the moment. My voice is starting to get croaky. But I'll try my best. Now, this is the screen when you come in anyway, and as you can see, it tells me what version I'm on, and the blog about stuff, and the SL status. They do rolling restarts of servers, which are sims, which we'll look at when we get in there. But basically, you download this thing. You can either download the official viewer from Second Life, or you can download this viewer from the Firestorm website. You can Google for it. I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. So, without further ado, here I am. I've got my login details in here. I click login, and we will log into the virtual world. Give it a few moments while it does its thing. It won't always look like this. Mine looks like this because I've set it this way because I prefer it this way. I like to know what's going on behind the scenes when it's loading and stuff, rather than having pretty please wait pages and stuff coming on. Okay, and I've now arrived in my home. When you first join Second Life, you don't have a home. If you're you can have a free account, by the way. This thing doesn't. You don't have to pay for this. You can join it absolutely free. You don't get a home though if you join it free. You'll appear in one of their welcome zones where there's lots of other people who've just arrived or whatever. Just to tidy this up a little bit. Don't worry about what I'm doing right now. Just things I didn't do before starting the video. So here we are. As you can see, it's still loading. I think it loads a little bit slower when I'm doing the video, because to do this video, I'm on Linux, by the way. Not that it really matters, because you can run this on Mac, Linux and Windows, but I'm on my Arch Linux desktop at the moment, which is why the funny desktop business at the top here. Don't worry too much about that. But the way this video works is it hooks into the program, which might slow some stuff down a little bit. So bear with it if it makes the sounds a little out of sync with the video or anything like that. I'm assuming you can hear the sounds. I won't know till I play it back. But yes, this is the house. Forget that for now. Don't worry about it. I'll talk about it in a bit. You can look around in Second Life using the arrow keys, or you can take the mouse, as I do here, hold the left mouse button on myself, and then move the mouse, and I can turn around. I can look around here to the right. Yeah, the frames per second are a bit down with the video running, but it's all good. Look around here. Some bits haven't loaded yet, but it's a basic house, nothing much in here. I don't really use the house. I mean, it's a virtual world. I don't often entertain here. I don't have many people come to visit for a cup of tea, anything like that. It's a place where I come to first log in, to mess about with stuff, hence the light bulbs that are hovering in mid-air like that. Another things, there's a TARDIS, if you've been sharp enough to spot it, or what it looks like the outside of a TARDIS door there, which may be explained on another occasion. But that allows me to do some Doctor Who type stuff, big kids' toys and all that. There you go, that's loaded now. But yes, we can use the arrow keys to walk forwards, or to walk backwards. We can look to the left and go there, look. Turn around to the right. I'm just using the arrow keys up and down. Up, walk forward, down, walk backwards, left, go left, right, go right. You can jump by pressing the page up key. Up he goes, and there's a nice little gamble and lands back down. You can fly by hitting the home key. And as you can see, I'm flying. I will demonstrate this in a better place, which has got no roof on it. Press home again, and you land on your feet. So that's kind of the basics of moving around this place. You'll notice this thing here. The reason it's there is because it's a mini-map, that's what it's called. It actually shows you all of the sims. These square things, it's hard to differentiate them in this mess because there's a lot of homes here and they're all individually parcelled. I'll explain parcelling also as well. You have, if you look at the outside squares here, you'll notice there is a grid of squares. This is called the Secondlife grid. And literally each one of these grids is a server. For those that know a little bit about servers in general, they run Debian. They have various services in the way of MySQL and other things which all combine together to make the system. They don't give us the information too publicly, but it's based on a lot of that. They have different servers physically that run different things. I believe their servers are set up as quad-core, and if you have a quad-core machine, 4 of these will run. One sim, or region as they're sometimes called, runs on each CPU. So you can imagine this little bit here is one piece of hardware, or one CPU. If there's a machine with 2 quad cores in it, then each one of these is running on a core. And just imagine loads of those in lots and lots of racks all over the shop. That's basically how it kind of works. Now you can teleport around in this world between servers, and you can cross into servers from another server. So what I'm going to do to show this in a more elegant way is I'm going to teleport somewhere. So here I am in my Linden Home, as it's called. It's a free home you get when you pay for the account. So if you pay the yearly fee, which is all of about 45, 50 quid a year, I think, you get a free house, and you get given money every week to go and spend on wonderful virtual toys, clothes, or whatever you're into. I'm going to teleport from here, and I'm going to teleport to another home, which is a home I actually use on a regular basis to go sailing and flying and things from. My pimp pad, if you like. You can giggle to yourself, but you'll see I live quite well. I live a lot better in the virtual realm than I do in the real realm, I can tell you that. So let's just go, when I remember which one of these wonderful links it is, to that one. Wait a moment, it connects to the other server. They do a handshake, which they're not doing at the moment, or they are and I just can't see it happening yet. Oh, there we go. Contacting new region. Feels like their network's having a bit of a chew. They have VPNs inside of their network which allows all the servers to talk to each other, and when it's a bit cloggy it gets a bit slow like that. But there we are, we've now teleported into another sim which could be located anywhere in the world for all I know, or even in the same data center, I don't know. And here we are. This will take a while to load because I've got my draw distance, as it's called, set really high. If you've played games before, you may be familiar with draw distance. As the name suggests, it's the distance it draws. So obviously I've got at the moment a draw distance of what in Second Lifetime is considered to be 512 meters, which is quite a long distance. Reason for that is obviously when you go sailing or if you go flying, I need to see what's ahead of me, because if you imagine if I turn the draw distance to just in front of my nose, which you can literally do and I'll demonstrate in a moment, I can't see anything. The sea would be in front of me and would look like the sea, but then in a split second there'd be a boat right in front of me and it would be game over. Angry bit of boat rage or whatever, or plane rage. If you're flying along and suddenly there's the runway, there's not much time for you to think. Like all online games, the higher the draw distance, the slower it tends to go. So if you're going to have a go at this Second Life thing, I recommend if you have an old machine, start with a low draw distance. You can always take it up if your machine can handle it. But in this particular program, Firestorm. Like I say, it's got some added features which are kind of nice that aren't in the original. One of them is you can change the draw distance very simply. Just type into the chat by literally just type on the keyboard DD, see it at the bottom there? DD, draw distance, space, and then I set it. If I set it to 30, you'll notice that everything in the background has now disappeared. Because now, although it will take a little while for it to actually catch up, it'll now only show me everything 30 metres around from my centre point. Now, I'll have to waffle a bit here because it takes it a little while for the rest of the bits to disappear. But if we try and get ridiculous and go draw distance of 10, there you go. Now, things which are right in front of me have just disappeared. So, as you can imagine, if you had a low draw distance like that, yeah, look, see, suddenly the boat appears. So, it appears and then disappears, you see. Oh dear, look, see, there you go. With such a short draw distance, half of the world disappears. So, you can get away normally with something like 128 for most, I think that's the default actually. But because I want to see everything when I go sailing or whatever, I use 512 and there we go. Now, there's all manner of options and configurations and things for this. I may do videos for all of it and teach you how to configure it and use it and whatever. For now, I'm just kind of blagging this as a bit of a testing ground to see if you like the video, if you'd like to see things in Second Life. I mean, I'd like to do them because they're fun, but also a lot of people are scared of coming on to Second Life. It had some press, not always good, not always bad, and you know, there are adult entertainment type things in Second Life, but there's also an awful lot that isn't. There's a lot of PG stuff, there's a lot of child friendly stuff, there's a lot of stuff there that's just there for people who don't want some hardcore internet action, as it were, and would prefer to just go sailing or exploring or hanging out with friends or listening to live musicians. Yes, they have live musicians in here who sing live to you there and then at home with their guitar and whatever. Bands play live. You get DJs, lots of DJs, very talented ones as well, that play at clubs here in the virtual world. And I'll be taking you to some of those where you can hear the DJs playing, and maybe if I'm lucky enough get to talk to some of the people there or whatever. Second Life has chat, so when we meet people, which will happen at some point, you see all this here, this is friends, these are all my friends. Yeah, that wasn't a brag, but no, I do have a lot of friends. 293 apparently, online at the minute. So, you've got all these buttons that don't really matter. What I wanted to show you was this, nearby chat. So we can talk to people. If someone was here, I could say, I'm one hand typing because I'm holding the mic, of course, hello. And you can chat to people in there. You have voice, there's a voice chat, much like Skype, and you can click the button, and if I do that, you can see the green things moving above my head. Now, if somebody was stood here now, they would hear me coming over the voice on their machine, and you can have a voice conversation. And maybe in one of these videos I'll be able to do a kind of voice conversation with someone, and you'll be able to enjoy that. So, that hopefully covers some of the very basic, get you familiar stuff. If we take a wander down here, this is a sailboat. Now, they have all sorts of wonderful vehicles in Second Life. A lot of people don't realise that the great thing about the platform is you can make your own objects, and you can script your own objects using the Linden scripting language, while the actual platform itself has kind of reached a point where they're actually talking about rewriting it, because the only way to improve it would be to start from the ground up. A lot of the content creators have just pushed it to the limit, as people do. The great thing about the open source community and developers in general is all of us geeks, if you like, we're inquisitive types. We like to push the envelope. It's like, I want to have a boat, and I'm going to make a boat, and I'm going to figure out how to make this boat as realistic as possible. Hours and nights, lots of coffee, and lots of programming later. And teamwork effort, of course, much like open source, where you've got developers that are good with scripting, you've got people that are good with graphics, they do all the textures, you've got people that are good with the Blender, and they do all the 3D part. This boat, for example, was created by a Second Life amateur called Annalise Dean. She makes some very good boats, and she teams up with a bunch of other people. Dutch is one of them, who writes scripts for her, and you know, everything together. They create this boat. Now, the boat, it's hard for me to show you it. Like I say, I don't have a mic stand. I should probably invest in one, but I'm holding the mic. It's a woolly head type thing in the left hand, and so I've only got one hand, so I can't use the keyboard and mouse at the same time. So I can't give you wonderful panoramics and things. but hopefully you can see a bit. In fact, I'll shut up, put the mic down, and I'll just give you a cam tour of the boat. Here we go. Working. I picked the mic up as you can actually hear me. Yeah, it's got all sorts of things on there. You know, everything works, clickable. The sails work. You have to sail it. You know, and I could not possibly show you that with holding the mic because it's really difficult because I need all my fingers. But you can control the sail like you would a real boat, and then steering, and you get weather, wind, and all that kind of effect. So you have to work quite hard to keep the boat going in the direction that you want, the speed that you want. This one is much more realistic. A boat. It's more for people who want a challenge. You can race in it. I like to just cruise. I'm not into racing. I just like to cruise around looking at cool stuff, or just use it as relaxing. I find it very relaxing to sail about, which I will do in the video as well. Let's have a mooch about though, shall we? First of all, on my pad, as it was, the virtual Keif Denimore pad. This is my entertaining area, where we entertain our friends. We have parties, so they can come over here and lounge on the loungers, lounge in the pool. I obviously DJ, so this is my DJ set up here, where I literally do DJ like from my house, but I can stand here and look like I'm actually doing it on the decks while I'm playing them tunes and giving them waffle. And they've got a beautiful view of the sea, of course, with the nice sea sounds, which are actually quite nice scripts in a box, which I've installed into various key locations so that you hear the sounds in different places. If you stand here, you'll hear that sound. I'm hoping it's recording the sound. The whooshing of the water hitting the back of the stairs here. And if we move down here, I have a slightly different sound. Oh, do you hear the birds? Birds and insects. That's another sounder, which is disguised as a flower area. And then we've got some more environmental sounds which I've installed under here, which, can you hear the seagulls? Should be the sound of waves and seagulls. So you get different, so I've tried to create an environment, and that's the great thing about Second Life. You can create your own environment. This area here was created by myself and Bex, my girlfriend. When we got here, the land was just this, sand. So we've added this on the front and put our own environmental sounds in. We've also put the coral reef that you can see underneath. I don't know if you can see that on the video. But the corals, we've installed all those. So you've got so much creative ability in here. You can literally buy a lot of this stuff. I mean, I'm not going to take credit for it. I didn't make a lot of this stuff. I bought it for next to nothing and then just installed it. So obviously I put it in place. But you know, the creators, there are so many great creators on here that make, well, not the house, I didn't make the house, that was made by somebody else. We take a wander upstairs, look, and take you to my living room. This is my living room here. Open the door. Where we've got some sofas in here. Again, we can chill out here with people. We've got a pool table, got a bar. bar's important for whiskey drinking and the like. We have an upstairs. Now, of course, I don't really get the upstairs in Second Life. You know, most people use upstairs for bedrooms. I'm not being funny, but I don't really know when, well, other than the obvious to those that know what I'm saying, there aren't many things you would do upstairs in the virtual realm. You're certainly not going to go up there and sleep. That just doesn't seem to make any sense at all. This house, for some reason, came with a kiddies room, which I believe is this room. Obviously, they're all empty because I don't really use any of the rooms. So, seems a bit pointless having it. As you can see, looking at it this way, it looks like a smoked glass appearance. Oh dear, I need to fix that. I made it look smoked glass because it was an empty room and it looked a bit nasty being empty, so I created a prim, as it's called here, and made it so that you can see through it in one direction, and I just made it black and then just put some transparency on it to give it a smoky effect. This is the bedroom, as you can see. Nice bedroom, big glass windows, nice view outside. Looks like we've got new neighbours as well while I'm here. But yeah, don't really use the upstairs for anything. It's there for show because it's a house and it came with it. But if I'm honest with you, I hardly ever use the house. Again, if people come over, then you know you can hang out and chat, and it just gives you that feeling of being somewhere. But other than that, don't really use it. My chopper is at the back of the house. We will go for a fly in this at some point. Yes, now mesh, beautiful mesh. Mesh graphics have brought Second Life into the next generation, really. Most of this stuff you're seeing here is mesh. The detail and the quality levels that you get once it loads properly is incredible. I mean, the people that are creating stuff in here now are taking it, really, genuinely taking it to the next level. All working doors. Let's just zoom in a bit. You know, based on the real McCoy, leather seats. People can sit in here and travel. I can fly you about in my helicopter. Let's just go into the front of the cockpit. Bit of cockpit action. There you go, look, the cockpit for the helicopter with all the controls, as you'd expect in a helicopter. Very nicely done. Look at that. Okay, that is terrible not being able to... I need to get a mic stand, or make one or something. So as you can see, all the controls, the radios. These controls work, by the way. The artificial horizon, the collector readings, these here, the collector and the cyclic, they do work, so when I'm flying I can see what setting they're on. It also has a fuel system, and when the fuel runs out, obviously we've got to land and refuel, or we crash, basically. Great thing, we'll take you out in the chopper and show it off at some point, but as you can see, the graphics are pretty cool, and the sound effects and everything else are pretty cool too. There's lots to offer in Second Life. You can, as I say, it's free. So what have you got to lose? You install it, give yourself a name, find yourself some fairly decent body and outfit. You can buy as much stuff as you like here. The first question everyone always asks is, how do you make money? Well, you can make money in Second Life, which is true. Once you've been here for about a month, people take you seriously, because obviously a lot of people come on, spend a week on it, think, bah, they're not for me, and they don't bother again. But if you've managed to stick it out for 30 days, I think it's the usual thing, people here will employ you. So if you want to be a DJ and you've got the equipment to DJ, you can become a DJ and play at a gig regularly every week and get paid for it. If you like creating things, or you're good at creating things, you can create things. Make clothes, make boats, make cars, make ornaments, scripts, whatever it is that you might be good at, and make money from it. And there are people in here that are making real money, and some of them are making an incredible amount of money. So if you've got the talent and the time, then you can have some fun with this, and you can also make yourself a little sideline profit as well. Let me show you the flying. Seems a good time. So hit home on the keyboard and I start floating, like Superman or something. Gordon's alive. Then we fly using the arrow keys, as you can see. Now, you see what happened there? We just crossed. If you look at the mini-map over here, we just crossed out of one sim and into another. And if you want to see that in action, if you look up here, you'll see that I am now in the coastal waterway. Now, if I now fly forward into the next one, see it switch over, and I'm now in protected land. And literally, as I fly between these, I'm flying between simulators. They're all individual. Each one of them is an individual simulator. joined together, giving, I'll be honest, tonight it's behaving really well. Crossings between simulators can be a little daunting. There's a lot involved with that kind of, wow. Okay, I'm just a bit stunned. Somebody used to live there when I logged in last week, and it looks like they're not living there anymore, or all their house and everything's gone, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. On the left here we actually had what looked like Thunderbird's headquarters there, which was actually quite a nice building. I'm a little shocked. I think they've actually moved out. Well, that's a shame. But you get the idea. Look, there's my neighbours. I just don't want to annoy them by invading their privacy, but just fly past them. As you can see, this is the back of my house, waterfall. Pretty, isn't it? There's a lot of pretty things in Second Life. You can lose yourself. There's a lot of oh god, my neighbour's got a blooming all. Great. These things are a pain in the bum. Someone's land security, or you have 10 seconds to leave or it'll boot you out. They're fine, but as you see there, when you're minding your own business and you fly past and the thing starts bothering you, if you're in a boat and it turfs you off, then that's not happy times. It appears like Unity Airlines has moved next door to me. I don't quite know what's gone on there, but that definitely has Unity Airlines written all over it, which is one of the virtual airlines here. What have they opened? A helipad strip or something? Yes, a helipad strip with a refueling station and sea home. Okay. The other thing about Second Life is that the turnover is high. I moved into this neck of the woods probably a couple of weeks back. It's when I was on the break. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And in the time that I've moved here, my neighbours have changed about 8 times. I joke you not a single original neighbour is still here. Apart from us, of course. It's a nice spot. It's a nice spot for flying. It's a nice spot for sailing. Because this I can get from here to loads of other places. And I'm going to do it in separate videos because this video will be massive otherwise. This video is kind of an introduction to it. I thought I'll do an introduction to Second Life. Then I'll probably do another video straight after it where I can, because this microphone I can't hold it all the time. So it's going to have to be I'm going to take you sailing and try and talk to you type thing without all the extra waffle. I think I've shown you pretty much the general gist of Second Life. You're a walking avatar. I haven't really shown you what I look like, have I? Hang on, let's do that. If I click on myself and I spin around, you can see this is what I look like. Hello. It's basically me in a much fitter body than I really have, which is something you will imagine most people do here. Some people like to make themselves look as photorealistic as they do in real life, but I will confess to having the body I don't have in real life. I'm not afraid to say it. And I have a nice pair of shorts. I don't wear many clothes often. In fact, I'm quite well dressed at the moment. I'm generally known to wander about in a leather thong. But anyway, maybe you'll see that in another video. Some of the videos I'll be doing won't be available to everybody if they're not under 18. All the way around, if they're not over 18. So any videos of an adult nature, you'll know what they are because I'm going to be marking them accordingly. I'm hoping to do like a dual series if I can. I'll do a series of these kind of PG videos where you can see around Second Life and see all the okay cool stuff, and then there'll be some videos aimed at the more adult market and audience for those that are over 18 and want to see those things as well. I think for an introduction video that pretty much covers some very basic stuff and gives you a look around. I'm going to quit this video now so that you can go off and get a drink or say what the hell was that rubbish or whatever. Please do give me some votes and comments and things. Obviously I look for your feedback to know if you're enjoying it, think it's rubbish, think I could do something that you'd enjoy. Why not? You know, I don't mind doing them. Giving me something to do just makes my life a bit easier. But otherwise I will try and entertain you as best as I can. Until the next time, see you soon.